Greetings one and all, welcome to our YouTube channel, Searching Out the Matter, and the matter that we're searching out in this video is the English involvement in slavery and a slave ship called Jesus of Lübeck, aka the Good Ship. Let's begin. It's recorded that the first set of slave traders are the Portuguese and the Spanish, then the English. Historical records hold that in 1502, Juan de Cordoba of Seville became the first merchant to send an African slave to the New World, i.e., the Americas. English joined the slave trade in 1562, 60 years later after the Spanish. They enormously trade humans, which caused a devastating effect on the continent of Africa. In October of 1562, John Hawkins of Plymouth became the first English sailor known to have obtained slaves. Approximately 300 in Sierra Leone for sale in the West Indies. Hawkins traded the slave illegally with the Spanish colonies, but the trip was profitable and others followed. These contributed to the increasing tension between England and Spain. Hawkins sailed into the Gulf of Guinea and venturing into Sierra Leone captured 300 to 500 slaves, mostly by plundering Portuguese ships. He used violence and smooth words and also promising slave land in the New World. This is called the Windrush Generation. They were promised street of with gold, but found it was asphalt. They got less desirable jobs and accommodations that are not homey. Leaving Africa, thinking that they would come to work and help their families back home, but found that they couldn't even help themselves. Hawkins sold most of the slaves in what we know as Dominican Republic. He returned home with a profit and ships laden with ivory, hides, and sugar. This began the slave trade for the English. Note briefly, did you know that the song Amazing Grace was sung by a slave owner named John Newton? He tortured and raped slaves, and later on wondering if he would be saved by grace. Hawkins claimed to be a devoted Christian and missionary. He found the Sierra Leoneans harvesting their crops. He then proceeded to tell them of a God named Jesus, afterwards asking which of them would have Jesus as their savior. Then 100 who raised their hands were then led to the beach onto his ship, Jesus of Lübeck, aka the Good Ship, Jesus. He then urged these people to enter his ship for salvation. Those who entered soon found out that they were barred from leaving. As the ship sailed, they were sold to Hawkins' fellow slave merchant in the West Indies. The 700-ton ship was purchased by King Henry VIII, and 20 years later, it was Queen Elizabeth who lent the ship to Hawkins. So we see clearly that the English involvement in the slave trade was from the top, the very highest. Hawkins has a reputation for being a religious man who required his crew to serve God daily and to love one another. Service was held on board twice daily, despite the imprisonment, detainment, restrainment by fear, shackles of, and murdering of slaves. Between 1562 and 1517, Hawkins and his cousin Francis Drake made 3 voyages to Guinea and Sierra Leone and enslaved between 1200 and 1400 Africans. These would have contained some of the finest and strongest the two states would have needed to become mighty. Note briefly that they didn't steal slaves. They stole scientists, doctors, architects, astronomers, teachers, entrepreneurs, fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, etc., and made them slaves. The continent of Africa suffered a huge loss, not to talk of the death of those who viciously fought back, and those who got drowned while escaping, and those simply beaten or clobbered to death. Hawkins personally profit from selling slaves was so huge that Queen Elizabeth I granted him a special coat of arms. He was appointed as treasurer for the Navy in 1577 and knighted in 1588 by the High Admiral Charles Howard, following the defeat of the Spanish Armada. So, although some countries have claimed to regret the slave trade, Hawkins has numerous public monuments with his name in Plymouth, including Sir John Hawkins Square. However, neither thousands of Africans killed and enslaved by Hawkins and Drake, nor the millions killed in the period followed, have had monuments erected in their memory. Although England banned slavery in 1772, the trade continued after Hawkins, right into the 19th century across the colonies. On a side note, in 1655, British invaded Jamaica and Spanish ran, leaving their plantation. Many slaves escaped. Before moving on, let's turn to Psalm 68 verse 4. It says, "Sing to Yahweh, sing praises to his name. Extol him who rides on the clouds, by his name Yah, and rejoice before him." Isaiah 12 verse 2, it says, "Behold, Yah is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid, for Yah is my strength and my song. He also has become my salvation." Isaiah 1 verse 2 and 3, it says, "Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth. For Yah has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children. They have rebelled against me. The ox knows his owner, the donkey his master's crib. But Yasharel does not know. My people do not consider." In the book of Deuteronomy 28:49 to 50, it reads, "Yah will bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose language you will not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which does not respect the elder, nor show favor to the young." So reading Deuteronomy 28, it shows you that a curse will be upon Yahuwah's people if they didn't follow his commandment. Does this curse fit the slave of yesteryears? Does this curse fit black people? Alright, let's find out.
I'm gonna show you something. I just type in slave voyages in Google. Bear with me a second. Not going so fast at the moment, but just bear with me. I'm gonna show you something that is very surprising. Then I go on that. Then I go on African names database. Bear with me. And I in African name I type in Yah. I tell you that John Hawkins went to where Sierra Leone, and the capital for Sierra Leone is Freetown. Now I want to take a look at the names that has Yah in it, and this is showing 20 of 822. And if you look all the way down, you see Yah, Enya, Inya, Yahoo, Akeya, Anya, Enya, Beneya, Anya. You may asking, why am I showing you this? Because I just want to remind you that each nation always take the name of their deity. Like Mohammed, they always have Mohammed in their names. Muslim always have Mohammed in their names. Remember the three Hebrew boys in the book of Daniel when they went to Babylon. The first thing that they do is change their name and give them Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego because they want to change their name from meaning Yah or having Yah in them to serve their idols. And of course, they didn't bow down to their idols. Even Daniel's name was changed to Belshazzar. So, just showing you that these persons who were in West Africa are not just Africans, but they are Yahudims, right? They are of the household of Yasharel, which they're the Mosai is Yahuwah and his son Yahusha. So this is furthermore evidence as we can go. Give me a sec. To page 2. Taking a time, and you see it, we can go even 50 more. That's 20, 50, and you will see that these names all having ya. Ya, Baya, Jin ya, Akide ya, Faka ya. Alright, so you see the ships that they were on, Hispania, Zikunde, and all those names. So one of the ships were Di Maria, and I took my time and I searched it out in 1827, and you have liberated Africans. Give me a sec, show you something, and they tell you when they were captured. Embarkation. I just want to show you something all the way down the bottom, and the primary African location of embarkation from voyages. The name of that place is Uida. So again, I just want to show you that the Yah is in their name. This one of the ship that was mentioned, slave ship again. So my point is that these persons are of one nation. Africa is a continent, but these persons were of one nation because they all have the same name inserted in their name, the name of their creator. The African song, the slave song that they sing, they say come by Yah because they're asking their deity, the supreme deity, their creators to say come by Yah, come by. Just on a side note, they call Jamaicans, where they take off the J, they call us Yamaicans, as in Yamaicans, Yamekia, as in Ya make Ya, or Yadi, Yadi, yeah. So we know by our ancestors who we are. Many don't. So I just want to open your eyes to something and the history of our country. That we are definitely the children of the book. Yes, we are the household of Yasharel, Yahudins. So get searching, get learning, unlearn to relearn. Eat the meat, spit out the bones. Till next time, brethren.